Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something sick.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, good. I'm so pleased.
Yay, welcome.
Thank you. It's a bit surreal. I was literally just listening to a podcast.
Yeah?
Now I'm
Hope
hearing
it was a
your
good
voice.
one.
Now I'm hearing your voice live.
So exciting, isn't it?
Very exciting.
For me too. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely.
Yeah,
I've been very nervous.
Okay, well, that's welcome. And I appreciate that. I get nervous too.
Yeah. It feels like I've been thinking about doing this for a long time.
Tell me more. Is that doing this with me or just doing IFS in general?
Both. I've been self-studying IFS. I'm a psychologist, and it's very hard to get the training in Australia. There's kind of a ballot, so I've been consuming everything I can get my hands on.
Great.
And sent a few inquiries to IFS therapists locally, and just hadn't been able to coordinate to work with anybody one-on-one, but been doing a lot of do-it-yourself.
Great. Okay.
Please let me know if I speak too fast. When I was in New York a few years ago, they said I spoke very fast. It was hard to understand with the Australian accent.
So far, so good.
Okay, good. I'll do my best to not talk too fast.
Yeah. Okay.
So I haven't actually done any IFS with somebody. I've only done it solo. I'm an EMDR trained practitioner as well. So I will put on bilateral music with headphones and then go through the inviting parts, and I sit and write or type the dialogue, which has been really good. But what I've particularly noticed recently is I am doing everything but that.
You're doing everything but
doing any IFS.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a big avoidance.
Okay. All right.
So I guess I need your guidance as to how I know you normally do a minute meditation or something like that.
We can do whatever feels right.
Okay.
We can chat more. Do you have any questions about my process or the recording process or anything like that?
Not particularly. I kind of get the impression, you record everything and then they kind of edit it down into, what works best.
Yeah, when I get around to it, I do.
Yes. How do you have all the time to do all of this?
Because I don't have much of a life.
Okay.
But that has all changed. I'm in Vietnam right now, and
Yeah, lovely.
things are very abundant, and it's just so beautiful.
Oh, that's lovely.
I'll be surprised if I do much publishing at all in the next 3 months because
Yes.
yeah, so much else going on. But
Yeah,
taking the calls is fun and
yes.
energizing and connecting. So
Yeah, it is very energizing, isn't it? I know
yeah,
working with people, I get paid to do this stuff.
incredible.
So, which is lovely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'm blown away that you're doing this out of the kindness of your heart and the desire to spread the word, I guess.
Yeah. 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 It's fun.
Yeah. So complete, apart from listening quite a lot, I've even, until the last few days, I've been avoiding listening as well. Like I've been there's a very strong part that's trying to avoid the personal development work at the moment.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we can get to know any parts.
Yeah. I feel like that's been very present.
Okay. All right. Would you like to have the minute of quiet meditation or?
Yeah, probably would be good. Part of me is like, no. But that's just a fear reaction. So I
oh no, we're not ready to start.
I guess it's still that avoidant part that's like, oh, that will make me more in contact with myself.
Yes.
Which is what we want.
Well, in general, yeah, that's my aim is to help you connect with your parts. But if there's a part that wants to avoid that, I want to try to honor that in any way that I can. And if it feels right to keep speaking for that now, feel free. It's welcome and it's normal.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of, it's easing off. It's, it's saying it's okay.
We don't have to go anywhere that doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I hope we don't go anywhere that doesn't feel right.
Yeah. No, it definitely. Yeah. No, it's happy to. In fact, I think it thinks it would be good. That's what it's saying, at least. Yeah.
Okay. Does it have any requests? Are there any ways that we can do it or things we should look out for or anything that in particular that it wants to see?
It's curious as to what, on the podcast, there's just a blank from it, it just splits. So I'm interested in, do you play music or do we just sit quietly or?
Yes. We sit quietly in the quiet meditation.
Okay.
Yeah. But how's that work for you?
Yeah. That's it. It was just more that unknown of what will this look like? Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only part I can predict for certain, that the quiet meditation will be quiet. Everything after that, I don't know.
Absolutely. Yes, most of myself and my parts are not very quiet, so I think we should enjoy the minutes.
Okay. All right, I'll set a timer, and then after that, we'll see who wants to be known.
Thank you.
Okay. That was a minute.
Lovely. That was nice.
All right. So, anything come up? Any parts that you'd like to get to know better? I have on my short list here the avoidance.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I think that's still. It was interesting in the moment of quiet. There's like some of the parts that I've already worked with and unburdened. They're cheering that I'm doing it. They're excited. But they're also indicating this avoidant part can take control a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they would like me to work with that part, and I think that with it being so present, it's I generally the thing that the part that is present is the part that wants my attention. So I think that would be a good place.
Right. Okay. So one way to start is to check how you feel like in your body when that avoidant part comes up, and what you notice around that.
Very much hunched shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting. I've noticed that quite a bit over the last couple of weeks, particularly when I've been doing things that are like I could be doing something more nourishing.
Okay.
So it sits in that. There's tension in my neck and shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And in this moment, how do you feel towards that part?
There's definitely there's parts that feel powerless to it.
Right.
So it's it feels overbearing.
Mm-hmm.
There's some self in there that is just full of love and compassion and I was going to say curiosity, but there's aspects that are frightened of it.
Okay. Right, and those are the same ones that feel powerless?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, we can check on them.
Yeah, it feels like there's a little bunch of them.
Yeah. All right, they're welcome also. How do you feel towards them?
I want to show them that we can help this part.
Yeah.
That it's not scary. It's just doing a job that's been very important.
Yeah. Maybe you could ask them what they think about that, and if they want to say more about what's scary about that for them.
They've seen me do enough of this work that they're like, yeah, that'd be good. Like, do that, help it. But they've also seen, 30 years of in and out of therapy, trying to heal from pretty horrible childhood, and go in and out of the avoidance being in charge.
Yeah.
So lots of work has been done, but this is a repeating pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you why they would have that feeling?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, me too. Just let them know that. Let them know that you're on their team. And that it makes sense to feel that way.
They're gorgeous. They're just kind of enjoying being heard and it's interesting, isn't it? Because it was like part of how I felt them was that kind of powerlessness or even hopelessness, and yet they're so hopeful. They're so,
they're aware of you, and they're optimistic about your abilities.
Yeah, and they're very. My whole system's been so delighted to discover IFS.
Yeah.
it's always been how the inside has operated. It just didn't know it was a thing.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. That's why it seems to work so well, I think, for people. It's like, well, it's true.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, yeah, they're definitely feeling more comfortable.
Okay. All right. Do they need anything to allow that space for us to get to know the avoidant part?
No, they just like to be like behind not a one-way mirror, but like they'd like to be able to observe while we're working.
Okay.
It's not even to kind of check up on it, but they just think it'll be beneficial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're invested in it.
And like I said, they've seen a lot of work done.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, they're kind of almost like kids going to see a movie going, oh, this will be excellent.
Okay.
Yeah. I can feel a shift in the avoidant part as well.
Yeah. How are you feeling towards it?
Yeah. It feels like it's relaxed. And yeah, I just feel I guess eager to give it whatever space it needs.
Great. Yeah, let it know that.
Yeah.
And let it know that it can just tell you whatever it wants. Or show up however it wants.
Yeah. It's bringing some sadness.
Okay.
And it's saying that, but I don't want what comes when it's not doing the job.
Okay. Do you have a good understanding of what that is?
Yeah, I'm just trying to check in with kind of the system to see if there is any parts that are like, yeah, we need to avoid this.
Well, this avoidant part is saying we need to avoid it. It doesn't want what comes up when it's not on the job, right?
Yeah, yeah. But it's also saying I don't want what comes up. So it's...
Oh, I understand. Yes.
So
yes.
it's serving the system by not letting...
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing a bit of a scan just to see if it's getting that message at the moment, you know, if there's anybody.
Yep.
It's pretty clear. Yeah. It's always fascinating. Like, you know, these parts carry these beliefs, and then when I do the work, it's like, oh, no, not really.
I'm sure it has a lot of good reason that it carries its beliefs.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Some old, some current.
Yeah, you could just ask it more about that.
Yeah.
About its beliefs or about what comes up when it's not on the job.
Yeah. It's just sometimes when I work on stuff, or me as a whole works on the trauma stuff, and sometimes things get worse for a while, or I'm not as equipped to handle aspects of my life, or, I have family responsibilities and, it very much has there's a very old message of if I give myself, or if I get what I need, somebody else suffers. And this avoidant part feels like that's tattooed on it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if you get what you need, someone else, like someone in your family whom you have some responsibility for or around, they would suffer because you're in this space with this other part, or maybe your energy is drained from working with it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So I can't keep holding up all the things I routinely have to hold up sometimes when I'm working on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. We've seen that lots of times, and that will often bring this avoidant part, kind of shuts down the work that's being done.
I just want to let it know, for me, I think that's really reasonable.
Yeah.
And I'm with it. Like, if we can, like, we should look out for how can we do anything that we do without causing a big disruption in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that if we couldn't do that, avoidance would probably be a good move.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and it has. It's helped. Remember having a therapist years ago who talked about, what's the phrase she used? Dual tracking. So it's like sometimes you're on the healing and working through it track, and sometimes you just have to be on the my life practical, get on with things track. But it's sometimes I get locked on the be practical, be in life.
Sure. Very real things to look out for out there.
Yeah.
How long has this part done its job, or felt like this feeling of like, if I get what I need, someone else suffers?
Yeah. Really, really long time.
Yeah.
Since I was 5 and I'm 56.
Okay. Okay.
And it just gets reinforced along the way in little ways and big ways. And there's another aspect of me kind of saying, but you also know that if you don't do the healing work, things get much, much worse.
Yeah. Okay. So I would consider, I imagine that's another part. That's the pro IFS part and the pro healing work part.
Yes.
You can acknowledge them.
Just be rational, and
Right. Right. Yeah. We get it.
Yeah.
Just think that when we're just here to learn about the experience of this avoidant part, who it's protecting, and what it needs.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. She can move back and
How would it feel for you in this part to just see if it wants to show you more about age 5, the feelings at age 5?
Yeah.
How it was that getting what you needed meant someone else suffers.
Yeah. We know that story well.
Okay, yeah.
We've worked on that a lot.
Okay. Okay. I just want you to know that you don't have to share it with me. And if you know it well, then maybe if there's nothing that you need to see there now, or that this part wants you to know about that now, that's fine.
Yeah. I don't want to not go there, but I probably won't describe the situation.
Okay. Yeah.
Part of this message also says you don't vicariously traumatize others by giving too much detail at least in a public forum.
Is a part of you concerned about traumatizing others by sharing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Can we welcome that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really appreciate that. I think that's really considerate and compassionate.
Yeah.
I want you to know that I am in a place right now where I can't imagine that happening with me.
Yeah.
I can't speak for anyone else who might hear this if we ever share it.
Yeah.
We certainly don't have to share anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the most important things perhaps is even just we're not 5 anymore.
Yeah.
And even, the clips going through my head of all the other moments when that message got reinforced. It's like there are challenges in life now, but they're when I work on this, it's not the same as I don't know if that's that part coming back in again. Going, it's better to work on it. Just going to check for a minute and just check that's not.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the avoidant part needs more validation rather than being shown it doesn't need to carry this anymore. It's not ready for that yet.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Sometimes I think I rush these things. I think I'm in self and it's a manager running the place.
Right. Yeah. I think you're totally right. It sounds like that same kind of rational part. Well, hold on, we're not 5, so So put that. So we don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work like that.
No.
But thanks to that part for it wants you to heal, and it wants you to be rational. It wants you to be through this.
And I think it's proud that we, made it all this way, and it's like, hey, we're okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this avoidant part is still carrying that.
Avoidant part.
Yeah.
And you've done this work. You've seen these memories from it, and they all make sense to you as to why it would. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How would it feel to just show it some appreciation for all that it's looking out for?
Yeah.
And its very rational position in those times of when avoiding might be the best answer at the time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's saved my life many times.
Yeah.
Whether that's titrating the.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been one of the most important jobs any of my systems had, I think.
Yep. Is it receiving that from you?
Yeah. I think it's this part. It's receiving that, but it's also saying, but then how are we going to get looked after? Like I guess it's expressing that it doesn't like having to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That it's like, yeah, I'm really, really good at it.
Yeah.
And it sucks. Yeah.
Sucks.
It really sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. What would it rather be doing if it didn't have to work so hard in this way?
Just it lifted off the ground when you said that. Like it was light as a feather.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would float. At least for a while. Like it was saying it would need to rest. It would need to but there's also like this kind of cheeky, joyful
Awesome.
Yeah. It's like she's right there. You know?
Who's right? Who's right where?
The core of this part. Her without the job.
Right, her without the burden and the job, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
She's just...
Okay. How old does she think that you are?
She's kind of saying 5, 7, 12, 21.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now it makes sense why she's wondering how we would be looked after if she were to take a break.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's what wasn't there, is someone looking after those things.
Yeah.
Those feelings.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can update the part with your real age and do that in the not in the way that rational part wanted.
Yeah.
But in really showing it yourself.
Yeah.
And who you are now. Your capacity, even just in this moment with this part, to witness it and enjoy being with it.
Like she's just kind of basking in that I do have what she needs.
Yeah.
You know that.
Great. Bask away.
Yeah. It feels like there's a shift between nobody will ever help us, therefore we've got to do it all on our own, to, oh, of course it's us. Like, not in a neglected, deprived way.
Okay. Some of what you said got choppy.
Okay. Yeah,
I didn't catch the first half of that.
Yeah, I was just saying that in the past there's been, nobody will ever be able to give us what we need in a negative way. Right. Like it'll have to be us. But as
Yes,
she's
yes,
too,
yes.
of course it's us. Like, that's perfect that it's us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're the closest one.
Mm,
Kind of ideal in a way.
yeah.
But yeah,
Very.
definitely some sorrow when, especially when we're children, and that
Mm,
self and that just ability to provide is not
mm.
all inbuilt.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just letting her know I've got her.
Yeah. Yeah. And that your relationship with her is just as important as any other part. That the goal
Mm,
isn't to get this part out of the way by let's
no.
hurry up and understand it so we can go somewhere else. It's
Yeah.
this relationship matters.
Mm,
What she needs matters.
absolutely. She's saying, even as I am now. And I'm like, yep, absolutely. No matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. She's not a bad part.
No, no, she's amazing. Oh, goodness.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Just asking her what else she wants me to know.
Excellent.
So she's felt so alone. There's a bunch of parts that I just kind of, I don't know, like bubbling around her, just showing her how abundant we are.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Kind of welcoming her and celebrating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's, again, she's a little bit like, but I haven't like given up my job or
Yeah.
like she thought
Yeah.
it's like, oh, is this like unconditional love?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a, that's a, uh,
It's a foreign concept for her.
yes, yes. I
Right.
couldn't even find words.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh my.
Hmm.
Just holding her while that's sinking in.
Great.
Mm. I feel like I don't want to um try to get her to let go of this job, or I feel like she just needs to be held.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until she doesn't want it anymore, or whether she just keeps it, whatever, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes in that process of holding a protector part, they are willing to show you more kind of detail about what it means to do their job, when they're doing their job, what comes right before they have to do their job or right after. And that can be really valuable. Because yes, if the idea is that, hey, someday I can do this for you, I can do this with you, just being with a part to learn what really that means.
Yeah. 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 She's saying that what if, if we don't have some avoidance, when do we stop? When do we rest? When do we, because sometimes avoidance is doing pleasant things.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, it's...
she's worried you won't get a break if she doesn't come in and push the avoid button.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yeah. Do you have a response to that?
Yeah. Yeah, I completely completely understand that concern.
Yeah.
Because we spend a lot of our lives giving and caring for others, and that's at work it feels pretty effortless, but at home it's just heavy stuff. And
does it sometimes feel like that's a part led process of caring for others?
Yeah. Some of it's just the circumstances too. Although it comes naturally. It's always been, I've always been the caretaker, the solid one.
How long have you been the caretaker and the solid one? Does that also go back to childhood?
Probably from adolescence. I was the youngest of 3, so I wasn't given responsibility, or, it wasn't, but it was a very harmful environment. So a lot had to be managed.
Yes.
Probably more internally. So I guess, internally with my parts, like the avoider used to be the dissociator, and so she's wound it back a lot. But
we could maybe just acknowledge with the avoidant part that you do have those other manager parts, and you have yes, if they were to always be in control, then maybe you wouldn't get a break, and maybe that's another something to a trailhead for working with them.
Yes, it feels like it's like, okay, well, if avoidance is reduced, then self-care needs to be learned a little more, or a lot more, probably.
Yeah.
I
think that's it in a nutshell. Self-care.
And that feels foreign also.
Yeah. Part's not trusting that's it's going to be sufficient, or Mm-hmm.
Or that even just what that would look like for me. Yeah, but it feels intriguing rather than scary, where in the past the idea has triggered anxiety. so
Right.
so
Right.
that's kind of interesting. That's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just reinforces that it's like, self can do this.
Right. Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense to me, that self certainly has all of the natural capacities and qualities to do that, but it may have very little experience in like, what does this look like in my day, in my life? And we need to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I often will ask clients, well, how would you take care of somebody else? Because I'm really good at taking care of other people.
Right.
And it's like, can you apply some of those skills to yourself? It's like, yes, I probably can. Yeah.
Yeah. And what does it take to go from that knowledge that I should do this to, okay, I'm doing this?
Yeah. Something just popped into my head was even, I guess, enlisting this part that's had this avoidance job in, all right, so if we want to take a break or we want to do something that's not, not to avoid, but to have something different, what does it think would be good? Because, when it's thought about not doing the avoidance job, it floated, and me in water is like, yes, please.
That's restful and rejuvenating.
Yeah. It's like feeds my soul, it feels like.
Yeah.
So it's like, hang on, you already know what you like, what is good for you. It's still working with that. But if I take that time, if I do those things for me, that someone else misses out or suffers or all of that feeling doesn't feel anywhere near as strong. But it's still there in a it's almost like, that's a thing I know, but it doesn't have the same intensity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe we could pose another question, which is to look more at the potential of doing work with exiles. And if you were to maybe ask this avoidant part, well, what if I were to go be with and heal and help the 5-year-old or whoever it's needed to protect?
Yes.
Then does it see that as having a deeper effect on your day to day?
Yeah.
What does it think about that?
Yeah. It's like nodding, like it knows the work I've done. The work I've done so far has been really helpful, but it's also saying, but you've rushed some of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Just hearing that. I like being really efficient. And I think sometimes when I do this work by myself, I often don't, it feels like I've stolen some time for myself. And it's like, right, got to get this done while everybody's out of the house, or I'll stay back later at work, which I'm sitting in my office now because it's like this is how I get time for me, is to be at work.
Right.
So it's always
you're working under borrowed, stolen time.
Yes.
And naturally, the rushing parts of you are moving quick. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wonder if that's one of the core, I don't know, just logistical kind of challenges of is there a way to find time that's not stolen, that is protected and honored.
Yeah, well, probably not even that hard. It's just when the avoidance is there, it just doesn't make it happen. It ends up at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that kind of how to keep showing up for them all.
I can tell you my number one tip. To block off an entire 5 or 10 minutes. And that way all my other busy parts that have so many better things to do don't feel robbed, because it's such a short amount of time that I'm promising myself and my parts.
Okay.
And quite often I'll go over that time or under, but making that commitment as kind of as small as possible.
Yes.
While still regular.
Yeah.
That's what works for me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, I know these things. I just have such trouble applying them to me.
Yeah.
It always, feels a little bit like a, palm to the forehead moment, where it's like, you know this.
So do I. And guess what? I skipped my parts work this morning. That's so easy that I never skip it. Well, I skipped it today. So you know.
Yeah. I do try and embrace my imperfection as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's but I think too that being with the part that's had the avoidant job feels really important. Like really, really, not that any of the work hasn't been important, but working
and
on.
What it's saying is, don't rush this.
Yeah. Because like my head's jumping to the how do I not avoid, rather than how do I just be with this part. And I guess to an extent that's not avoiding as well, but it's like
No, I think you're totally spot on with that intuition of being with this part that's up, and it's been heavy and it's been present for a long time, and
absolutely. Yep. And it's really neat, and it's had so much judgment and disdain thrown at it, and it's felt it's working so hard, and it's helped so much, and it's being told it's a problem all the time, and it's like, oh, it's not a problem. It's just it's taken on this job that was so essential. And it's done it well. Like, apart from some early years of my life, it hasn't made me a drug addict. It hasn't it's been pretty functional in its avoidance.
Yeah.
Made me hyper-fixated on my studies when I was doing them, and
Does it have any requests around this? I mean, because you're saying I need to be with this part, and I'm just wondering if it has any other requests around what that looks like, or if that does need to include, okay, but these pushy, efficient parts are the reason why that that, or is it going to be the challenge with being with this one? Like, is it pointing to other parts and saying, okay, but here's where the interference might be, or anything like that?
Yeah. It feels more like its own job.
Yeah.
Would be. So it's saying if you can tune into when you're avoiding.
Yeah.
And just acknowledge me, say hi.
Yes.
Ask me, is there anything you want me to know?
Yes.
Or, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Rather than we need to not avoid to be in contact.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
it would be a new way of being with it.
Yeah. Join it where it is, rather than need to extricate it to someplace that feels like I'm telling it not to do its job so I can talk to it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, just saying just patience and time, and it's worked really hard. Like I don't know, kind of honoring it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's another way to describe what we do here.
Yeah.
Honor all the parts.
Yeah. It said too that it will make an effort to observe my life too. Like keep that updating happening,
Right. Right.
Because it doesn't want to slip back into feeling.
It's gotta be a two-way
thing. Yeah. Yeah, that's really it just feels like a really good, like, okay, we'll both pay attention to each other kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a step beyond, how many traditions talk about like mindfulness and like, okay, be aware of what's coming up in you. And it's like, all right, well, how about the thing that's coming up in me is aware of me?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's almost I'll be watching.
Great. Yeah, more watching.
So it feels like it's kind of, putting me on notice a little bit. And it's like, okay, if you're going to help me, you need to show me that that I guess we are safe, that you're up to this task, that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or that earlier it was asking like, what does self-care even look like?
Yes.
It's kind of like, okay, well, yeah, let's find out.
Yeah.
It needs to see that.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And just like, that glimpse of the kind of cheeky, joyful core of it, it's kind of like, you better have fun. Like.
That's one of the ways it will know that you're going in the right direction if there's some fun. Yeah. If
absolutely.
It's just rest because I'm exhausted and I have to steal some time, but it's rest because it's for its own sake and for some joy.
Yeah. A while back I learned about upcalming. And so it's like, you know, when you're really tired, sometimes like you've like, oh, I'm going to lay down and watch Netflix or something. And it's like, no, actually sway to some music or float in the pool or, you know, like do those things that actually are calming but invigorating, or calming but, you know, different to just stop. And yet I think she's definitely saying that's some of what she needs to know that we can take care of.
It feels more like floating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, and she's saying nature as well. So that ties in with the water.
Nature.
So yeah. She definitely wants nature. Yeah. She's excited. I'm excited.
Good. Awesome.
It's like, whoa, that took a turn.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Do you want to check back in with the parts that felt powerless and hopeless?
Yeah.
Just let them know what you're up to and see if they have any other input.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're happy. They're
cool.
They're kind of like, okay, we understand she needs patience, and they'll practice that too.
Okay.
Because they it's a sense that they trust her wisdom. Yeah.
They trust okay.
Yeah, they trust the part's wisdom of how she needs it to be. Oh, and the self's wisdom, I guess. I can't tell who's saying what sometimes in there.
Yeah, well, you're on the same team now, so it does have a kind of a joint wisdom.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think prior to this, if I'd said now, you know, this isn't gonna be an instant fix, they'd be like, well, that's outrageous.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're like, okay. And in fact, they're kind of going, maybe you should check back with some of the previous work you've done, Drew, and just see if you rushed some of that.
Well, I think that we can take their word for it. I mean, you know, you have rushing parts, and this part's telling you you've rushed some of it, and clearly it's not all fixed, right? So there's always more to be done, and and that sounds like one of the key insights here is that slow is fast.
Yeah, which is quite contrary to how I would normally approach things.
Yeah.
Except when I'm working with other people. So interesting again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
The two hats is an interesting place to sit. Yeah. It's really good. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions, concerns, anything for me?
No, that was really, really helpful.
Great.
Okay. Really helpful. When I've done lots of therapy in the past, as I said, just not IFS. And it was good. I think that, the model's just so good.
Yep.
And sometimes when I've worked with other people, I go in, I just do all the work anyway, but often they don't get to say anything. And if they do say things, it's like, you're not getting me. But this didn't feel like this. This felt really good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The model is so good that an amateur like myself can walk someone through it.
Yeah.
You know.
So how many hours have you done with people? I would not call you an amateur.
Well, I mean, yes, I've done a lot of hours, but I started somewhere, and it was the same.
Yes.
I mean, sure, I've developed in my work, but I had I was willing to start. And
Yes.
that's because I could see how the model worked and how well it worked.
Yeah.
But I didn't have to be a genius. I didn't have to be a doctor.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah, we all have self. So that's.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not even how the model works. It's how it feels when it's working. Like it just feels right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I've always said to people, I haven't got multiple personality disorder or dissociative identity disorder, but I've always talked about being we. Like, I'm just we, there's lots of me in there.
Right.
And
it's just multiple personality order.
Yes.
That's
exactly.
It's just multiple personality reality.
I love that. I love that. Yes, that's a beautiful way of putting it.
Right.
Excellent. If time allows, I'd love to work with you again.
Please, yeah. So I will send you the call in an hour if I can.
Yeah.
And I did just have a cancellation in a couple of weeks, so I have one and only one spot on the calendar that I could get you in if you're interested in that. Otherwise, well, we can discuss other options, or the calendar will reopen.
Yes.
At the end of the month.
Yep. I'm good. Yeah. Do you know what date that was, the cancellation you had?
Do I know a fate?
The date?
Of course you said date, not fate. Well, I do know the date, but I know the date in Vietnam, which I'm afraid I probably will fail to convert to the date wherever you are. So it's around the 20th. I could give or take a day.
Yes, yeah. No, that actually could work. I'm going to Fiji on the 23rd
cool.
for a little holiday. So, are you able to send me an invite to that date, and then I can let you know if it works? Or I don't know how you do all that.
Yep, I'll do it.
Yeah, and then I'll reply whether I can or can't, and that'd be brilliant.
Okay. Nice meeting you. Thank you.
You too. Thank you so much.
Okay. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls, to every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts, and to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows, that might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube, and they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation, or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.